You've just graduated from college and now you find yourself wondering, what now? Turns out that the real life after college that everyone talks about sometimes can feel a bit like a road trip with no map. We get it and it's totally normal. A lot of our gap year students feel just the same. And that's exactly why we're here today. To break down together, first of all, why you might be feeling this post-grad fog, and second, and most important, how it imposed on your life with a gap year or a gap experience could be the smartest move you could make to regain focus and control over your life. Ciao a tutti and welcome back to the Italianforawhile channel, your go-to destination for all things Italy. If you haven't done it yet, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks on how to make the most out of your learning experience in Italy. So now back to us. You have just graduated from college. You have made it. For years, you've been working hard toward this final goal. The final exams, the all-nighters, the internships, the group projects. But now that the diploma is finally in your hands, there's an unsettling question that creeps in. What now? As I mentioned, you're not alone. A lot of graduates experience this post-grad confusion, and it makes perfect sense. So today, to try to reassure you that this is totally normal, we'll also try to understand why this may happen. And also we want to provide you the most effective alternative to hit pause and regain focus and control. A gap year or a gap experience that for a lot of our students has been proven to be the most effective and tangible way in which they could act to just go back to their adult life more focused. And of course, you may be thinking like, okay, but what are you talking about? Why do you know it? And first of all, I've experienced this in my own shoes. So I absolutely know what you're feeling and no worries, I've got you. Second, a lot of our students come here in Italy doing their gap experiences with us exactly for this reason. And a lot of them have proven this to be the best way to handle these temporary crises. And third, it's just not me saying it, but there are a lot of stats and studies done in the US that show that the majority of students feel this kind of confusion and that there are different ways in which you can act upon it, but a gap experience has been the chosen alternative for a lot of them. So let's start, shall we? And first things first, let's start by trying to understand why this post-grad confusion is in for a lot of students. So think about it. Since like forever, your life has had a GPS. Elementary school, middle school, high school, college. You knew that after one piece, there would have been another one that was already super well defined, with deadlines, a strict schedule, a fixed amount of hours that you had to dedicate to it, and so on. But then boom, graduation hits and that GPS is out of the window. No more syllabus, no mandatory classes, no fixed next steps. It's just you and what you want to do with your future life. And of course, the pressure of feeling like you need to have everything figured out right away, it's very high, especially when you feel like everyone else around you does. And as I mentioned already, this sense of uncertainty is not just in your head, but it's really backed up by data. Indeed, lots of studies show that graduates take months, sometimes even years, to find stability in their careers. And of course, financial pressure, job market reality, and social comparison only add up to this confusion and make you even more stressed. Now, let's take a deeper look at why this transition feels so overwhelming. First of all, as we just mentioned, uncertainty. You don't have that famous GPS that we talked about anymore. So it's just you and your own decisions, and not just uncertainty, but also pressure that becomes stress. A 2022 study by the Grand Canyon Education found out that 31% of graduate students feel an immense pressure to have a successful career and the need to figure it all out right away. But of course, reality almost never matched their expectations. Indeed, according to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, only 50.2% of graduate students, so basically half of them, in 2023, secured a full-time job within the first 6 months of their graduation. So it means that basically the other half was left either unemployed or hopping from one temporary job to another, that often was not even related to what they graduated in. So maybe they were working as waitresses, as waiters, as bartenders, or something like that. Indeed, it's the Federal Reserve Bank of New York that states that 41% of graduate students end up doing a job for which a diploma is not needed at all. So just imagine spending years going toward one direction to then find yourself working in something completely different. And we can definitely assure you that this is actually the case. It's not just random statistics. We've had lots of students that after graduating just ended up working as waitresses, as bartenders, and then they had a revelation. They decided that they needed some time to really refocus and understand how to move forward. And so then they came here. Let's move on to analyze the second point, the expectations versus reality of the work life. The work life can often be a shock for many students that are maybe used to a more flexible schedule. So you pass from choosing your schedule, choosing how much you want to study, and being able to just take breaks when needed, to basically an 8 hours full-time job, where you often have to do, at least at the beginning, repetitive tasks, and there's not much space for flexibility and creativity. Another aspect to consider is money. Often students think that their first paycheck is going to be enough to allow them to pay for their rent and to just do grocery and have a decent way of life. But often then they realize that this is not the case and that it will take often years before they arrive to their ideal amount of money needed to survive in a nice way. And to all of these, you also have to add another thing into consideration: peer pressure and social media, that are never really helpful in making people feel happy with what they have. Indeed, people always tend to post online their personal success, and you can never see all the real struggle behind that. So you're like there seeing all your friends updating their LinkedIn with new jobs position, having a new opportunity abroad, and so on and so forth, and then you just find yourself feeling like, oh my God, but then it's just me. It's just me that I'm so confused. What am I gonna do now? I need to hurry. But guys, that's not real. Everyone's journey is different, and you should never compare yourself to what you see from others before knowing the whole story. Maybe before finding that successful job, that friend of yours stayed for 6 months unemployed, crying in their bed. You will never know, because this is not something that people share on social media. So really, this is another factor that really messes up with students' minds. And here is where a solution comes in: a gap year or gap experience. When I mention gap experiences, I mean all those students that decide that maybe they cannot afford to go away for a year, and so they decide for some intermediate ways. For example, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 7, 8, anything that can work for you will be already enough. So what I'm here to tell you today is that instead of just panicking because of all that we've said before, and just accept the first job offer that comes your way, that sometimes may be not related to what you studied, or may not be something that gives you satisfaction and that makes you happy, or sometimes even just doesn't have a decent paycheck, just hit pause and really consider a gap experience to regain focus and understand what you really want to do with your life, and then come back home being actually ready for your adult life. We've seen it work for hundreds of our students, and today I want to actually show you how this experience can really help you. And of course, it's not just me or our students who say this, but research done by the American Gap Year Association found out that 92% of students that did a gap year reported gaining a deeper sense of purpose and direction. So, to break it down for you in a very easy way, here I have 5 ways in which your gap experience can help you put your act together. First of all, a gap year can help you find career clarity. Are you one of those students that picked a major and then thought, wait, what? So now maybe you actually want to find a job that is outside your field, but you don't know where to start from. A gap experience would definitely help you test drive different career paths. You could do different internships and then find the new field and the new career path that you want to pursue. Think of it as a period of try before buy for your future. This can help you both find your true passion, but also just help you understand what you definitely don't want to do. So it would never be wasted time either ways. Second, a gap year can actually help you level up your skills. You want to learn a new language, Italian for example, or you want to learn how to code like a pro, or you want to develop leadership skills. Whatever it may be, a gap year will absolutely be the best option for you to just have some free time that of course you didn't have before, to just pursue these passions without having the pressure of classes or deadlines or having to work 8 hours a day. These new skills of course will actually be a total resume booster. So 2 for 1. Third thing, a gap year will help you put your mental health first. Let's be real, college can be a pressure cooker. And the work life, it's even worse. A gap year would be the perfect chance to eat, pause, relax, work on your mental health, and once you're gonna be calm, you're gonna have way more time and energies to really think on what you wanna do with your life. This will also give you a chance to build resilience for the future and also make you understand yourself better. In this way, you can ditch the all-nighters and be able to find a perfect work-life balance even before you start working. Number 4, a gap year can help you expand your mind and your passport as well. You have always wanted to travel, you've always wanted to volunteer abroad, you want to go see a culture, you want to go learn a language. This is the perfect time. A gap year can seriously broaden your horizons, make yourself more adaptable, make you know yourself more, make you know the world more, and make you interact with people from different cultures. This will of course make you way more adaptable and give you a global perspectives, which are soft skills that everyone is looking for when hiring people. Plus, not to mention that you're gonna have some killer stories for your job interviews. And last but not least, number 5, a gap year can help you network like a pro. When you're out there on your own experiencing new things, you're gonna be forced to interact with all kinds of people. These connections can open doors you never even knew existed. So I could go on, but just for the sake of time, these were the top 5 reasons why a gap year would be the best idea if you are confused after graduating and don't know which direction to give your life. Remember, life after college doesn't have to be a frantic sprint to the final line. Sometimes the smartest move is just to take a deep breath, take a step back, and just understand where you want to run towards. So a well-planned gap year wouldn't make you waste any time, but would actually give you the direction you need. So you have to see it as an investment in your future, not something that will delay you. So if you are one of those that is just feeling lost after graduation, remember that gifting yourself some time to regain focus is the smartest thing that you could do. With that, it's really all for today. I hope that I have convinced you, first of all, that it's okay not to be scared if you are confused and don't know what to do with your life after you graduated. And second, if you feel that way, to really consider a gap experience as the most valuable alternative to just try to regain focus and understand what to do next. Of course, as always, if you have any question, don't hesitate to let us know in the comments. I will read them and reply to all of you. And of course, before leaving, I always remember you to give like to our video, comment it, or just share it with a friend. Until next time, ciao!